Alright, welcome back for Japan Turn 2. Unfortunately, Grandmaster Bert has been unable to do his turn this turn because he's other commitments. So I'm stepping in just to quickly do his turn. So for the purchase phase, the Japanese are going to be buying 2 naval transports, a cruiser, 3 infantry, and an armored division. Now on to combat movements. Alright, now for the combat movement phase. First off, will be 2 infantry and an artillery from Chahar are going to move into Suingyu. I think that's how you pronounce that. Next, from Anhui, 2 infantry are going to move into Hopi. And also from Anhui, 4 infantry and artillery are going to attack Hanan. Joining that battle from Johol will be a mechanized infantry with movement of 2. Next, the 2 strategic bombers down here in Kwangsung are going to move 3, and with 3 movement left are going to conduct a strategic bombing raid on the industrial complex in India. Next, with a movement of 3, the 2 tactical bombers and 2 fighters from Johol are going to move down and attack Hong Kong with 1 movement left in their gas gauge. Joining that battle from Japan itself, using 2 naval transports that are moved to Sea Zone 20, will be 2 artillery and 2 infantry, which will join that battle. As well, moving to Sea Zone 20, a battleship and a cruiser, and they'll be conducting shore bombardment. Next, from Japan, with a movement of 3, 1, 2, 3, will be a cruiser and a destroyer. They will be attacking the naval fleet in Sea Zone 36. Joining this battle will be a fighter from Kwangsung. And a tactical bomber and destroyer from Sea Zone 44 with movement of 2 are also going to join that battle. Next, the fighter from Sea Zone 44 is going to move 1 to Sea Zone 45 to attack the Anzac transport there. And lastly, the 2 infantry from Siam are going to attack French Indochina, and they're going to be supported by a tactical bomber and 2 fighters from Kwangsung with 3 movements left in their gas gauge. Alright, that is it for the combat movement phase. Now on to combat. Alright, now on to combat phase. The first battle is going to be the one in India on the strategic bombing raid of the Indian factory. I've talked to the warden, and the fighter in India is not going to scramble up to intercept the bombers. So, just onto the anti-aircraft guns in the industry complex. And it is a miss on both guns. So, they've missed, so the bombers are going to go in and do 7 plus 4 damage is 11, so 11 damage on that industry complex. Next will be the amphibious assault into Hong Kong. There's a battleship and cruiser doing shore bombardment during the first round with 2 tactical bombers, 2 fighters, and 2 infantry, 2 artillery attacking. And 1, 2, 3 hits for the Japanese. So the 2 infantry have been killed there. Their return fire is 1 hit, so 1 of the Japanese infantry has been killed. Next will be the attack into French Indochina. So it is a tactical bomber, 2 fighters, and 2 infantry attacking. And it was 2 hits, which takes out the British tactical bomber and fighter. Their return was 2 hits, taking out the Japanese infantry. Next will be the battle in Sea Zone 36. So the Japanese have a submarine, 2 destroyers, a tactical bomber, and a fighter attacking for 1 hit. And the British defending with 1 hit as well. Yes, the British do have a battleship there, but it is damaged. So they are going to lose the destroyer. And 1 hit will be one of the Japanese destroyers sunk as well. So now the Japanese will have the sub do first strike. And it misses. Remaining Japanese ships in air. 3 hits, which is more than enough to take out the remaining British ships. They return for 2 hits as well, which will take out the other Japanese destroyer and submarine. Alright, now for the non-combat movement phase. Alright, I've put everything back on the board here. I have actually made one change from my initial reaction with the combat rolls regarding French Indochina. Instead of taking both infantry as casualties, I only took 1 infantry as a casualty, and I took out a fighter as well, so the Japanese could secure French Indochina. I just made an error there that I'm correcting now. Now that I'm moving on to the non-combat movement phase. Alright, first off for non-combat movements, the 2 strategic bombers from India are going to fly back for movement 3 to Guangxi. The 2 fighters and 2 tactical bombers that attacked Hong Kong are going to move 1 and all land also in Guangxi. The fighter that's in Sea Zone 36 is going to move 1 to land in Guangxi as well. The fighter that took out the Anzac Naval Transport in Sea Zone 45 is going to move 2 and stop in Sea Zone 20, where he's going to land on the moving up carrier that's in Sea Zone 44. He's going to move 2 to join that formation. The tactical bomber that attacked Sea Zone 36 is going to move 1 and land on that carrier as well. The fighter and the tactical bomber that survived the battle in French Indochina is going to move 1 and land in Guangxi. And the entire air force there is going to be joined by the 2 infantry moving 1 from Guangzhou. The 2 tactical bombers and 2 fighters up here in Johor are going to move 2 and land in... Actually, they're going to move 1 and land in Anhui. Alright, this carrier with a tactical bomber and fighter is going to move 2 and link up with the fleet down here. And joining that fleet is actually going to be this naval destroyer from Sea Zone 6 to Sea Zone 20. The artillery piece in Johor is going to move forward to Johar. And that is it for the non-combat movement phase for the Japanese. Now for the place new units phase, the Japanese are going to place 2 infantry and an armored division in Gwangsung at the factory there. They are also going to, place the 2 naval transports and cruiser in Sea Zone 6, and 1 infantry is going to be placed into Japan. Alright, that is it for the Japanese turn. Quick recap of units here. In Sea Zone 6 around Japan is a cruiser, 2 naval transports, a carrier with a tactical bomber and fighter. Japan itself has 6 infantry and 3 anti-aircraft guns. Korea has an infantry, an armored division, and a fighter. Manchuria has 10 infantry and an anti-aircraft gun. Shaanxi, I think, 2 infantry and an artillery. 1 artillery in Chahar, 2 infantry in Hopi. Anhui has 2 fighters and 2 tactical bombers. In Shanghai, there'll be 2 infantry and an armored division. Henan will have 4 infantry, 1 mechanized infantry, 1 artillery. Guangxi has 2 infantry and, let's see the air here, check this, 2 infantry, 2 strategic bombers, 3 tactical bombers, 4 fighters. Hong Kong has 1 infantry and 2 artillery. French Indochina has 1 infantry. Season 20 has 2 aircraft carriers, each with a fighter and a tactical bomber on it, a battleship, cruiser, destroyer, and 2 naval transports. And out on the islands, Peleliu has 1 infantry, Iwo Jima has 1 infantry, and the Caroline Islands has 2 infantry and an anti-aircraft gun. Alright, that's it for the Japanese turn. They have no national objectives, but they do have collect 36 IPCs. Alright, on to the US.